Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cash Flow and Chill. I'm Matthew Munson, here as always with my fantastic co-host, Mary Jean Orozco. If you caught our last episode, we did a recap of the 1% networking event that we attended here in Peru, Illinois. Well, today we're continuing that theme because we have a special guest who we met at that very event. He's a seasoned real estate investor with over 1,000 deals under his belt, now working his magic from Puerto Rico. Please welcome Robert Crager.
Hey guys, good to see you again. Yeah, thanks. I
Yeah, we
appreciate it.
greatly.
It's good to make connections when you go to those events and be able to collaborate and do some things together. So that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
That's-
and you have like an app that we both joined, I think. Do you guys call it like flipping and flip flops or
The
something?
flip-flop flipper community. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of value there.
Are you in the community then? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
And I actually sent it off to a few other people in the community. So
I appreciate
I've been
that.
sharing it with everybody.
Yeah, and we've got a little YouTube channel. So it started with the YouTube channel, the Flip Flop Flipper, and then we found this thing where you can build communities on a platform called School. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the guy named Alex Hermose, but I'm sure I just butchered his name. But he's awesome. Like he's the guy right now as far as business content goes, I think. And we started this community building thing about a year ago. We're coming up on a year, like before the end of August. And we started with zero. We got a few thousand people in the community, which that's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. And it's just an extension of what we do on the YouTube, where we talk about real estate. And we actually then have a different community that's a premium community where people do deals together. So we've got a vendor list, and we actually try to buy things with each other. So that's what we do. Just building communities and trying to help people to become entrepreneurs and real estate investors. You know, that's it.
I love how you said that about like building people together and like collaborating in community, because that really, like, me and Matt, I'm sorry, I call him Mun.
Oh, Cal.
Me and Matt have like always prided ourselves on, I think of what you say a lot to me when you're like, I want to teach other people the game. I want other people to learn. Like, I want to bring people along on this journey. So I think it's so cool that I think a lot of people at the top, that is their main goal, is to help others along the way.
It's a really fulfilling part of what we do, right? Like, so anytime we can turn a renter into a homeowner, there's certainly fulfillment in that. We've done that thousands of times. But now we're really more interested in turning that person who hates the 9 to 5 or is looking to retire well or get out of the rat race, whatever you want to call it, and shift their mindset away from going to work to this job that isn't fulfilling, to becoming an entrepreneurial spirit, and then starting businesses and doing deals, and then hopefully they're creating homeowners. And so it's one extra level now that probably gives me the most fulfillment right now. That's pretty cool when you take someone who's trying to figure out how to become an entrepreneur, how to make it in this world. And let's face it, guys, the world is set up for us to be mediocre or to not even have a chance at success anymore, right? Like these systems of going to work for a minimum wage job and staying in that. If you're working a minimum wage job for more than a few months, it's time to go in and ask for a raise or get a new job, or quit altogether and become your own boss, start a business.
Yeah. And even if you fail, right, Mun? Like, I mean, how many businesses have we had that are no longer businesses? And I think that's where we've learned so much and kind of like where we are, you know, failing. I love failing.
Yeah. You don't fail if you learn, right?
We struggle with internet over here. I yelled at my whole family. I got 4 kids. I'm like, everyone off the internet between 2 and 3 o'clock. No internet. Go outside.
Oh.
Yeah. But I know Mun has some like amazing questions for you. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, Robert. We met at the 1% event, and I loved what you're saying. Your presentation was awesome. You're giving so much free value by having that school community. I tapped in there with that as well. I just love being around other like-minded individuals, which is why I attended that 1% event. And I had a great time. Mayor Jean was there as well. We got to meet you and so many other awesome entrepreneurs. I guess one question I had was what kind of drew you to attend that event being so far from home? And how has events like that kind of influenced your journey in real estate?
So that event was kind of a special event for me. The kid who interviewed me, his name was Drew Schaffner, and he's cousins with the guy, the two brothers, the one in the wheelchair, and was it Brent?
Blake.
And Nolan.
Blake, yeah, he's cousins with Blake and his brother, and so he invited me to come and speak, and I've kind of been doing deals with Drew, with the guy who interviewed me, for ever since he was like 17 years old, and so
Wow.
that was an easy yes for me to just say, all right, if you're in it, if you want me to be there, then I'll go. And I just like to get the message out, right? Like I'm kind of an open book. I'll shout it from the rooftops what I think about entrepreneurism, what I think about being a real estate investor, and the type of life that it provides. So any chance I get to go anywhere and speak. Plus, I'd never been to Chicago before, so that was kind of a big deal too. We got to hang out for the weekend in Chicago, so that was fun.
How'd you like it?
I loved it. Yeah, I really didn't expect to like Chicago as much as I did. I
Wow.
kind of thought that it would be like New York City's little stepchild or something like that. And I think I like the waterfront and the downtown Chicago area a little more than I like Manhattan. I like Manhattan for 48 hours or something, but it's too fast paced. But Chicago was a little more my style, and you still got to have all of the good food, and you could pick up a show, and there's just a lot to do. So it was a lot of fun to get to see that.
Awesome. I'm glad you had such a great time. It's definitely a beautiful place downtown, and the river walk and everything. It's and definitely the food.
It held up to what was presented. I mean, my whole life I've heard about Chicago food, so I had high expectations, and the city delivered. And
Awesome.
we ate Indian food. We ate. I mean, we just went steakhouse one night, Italian another night, Indian food one night, and everything was better than the next. One thing was better than the next. It was great.
Wow.
I think I gained 10 pounds.
I have to ask you, did you get to try some Chicago pizza? Because I know New York and Chicago, they have that little tip. Who has the better pizza?
Yeah, we didn't get to the deep dish pizza. The only pizza I had was at the 1% event, and I don't think that was a representation of what Chicago has to offer. That seemed like Papa John's type stuff. It wasn't the best pizza I had, so we didn't get to have pizza this trip. Maybe next time. Hopefully next time. I did get a hot dog though. But I mean,
You had a hot dog, you said?
I did
From
get a hot
where
dog.
we were at?
Yeah. All we did was
it-
eat though the whole trip. It was
Did you go to the hot dog stand? That's like another like small, I think it's like Chicago style
Yes.
hot dogs.
Yeah.
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 They're a small business. They've been around forever.
Yeah.
They're great.
And the line was into the parking lot. Yeah.
Yep. So the guy that interviewed up on the stage, he looked very familiar to me. So you've been working with him since he was 17, and he's from our area?
No, he's from Orlando, Florida. His
Oh.
cousins are from your area.
Okay.
And I actually, his family's from there, so he's up there in that town where they did this. I think he's up there every summer. And
how did you guys meet then?
so he was my son's friend in high school. He was the president of their senior class, and my son was the vice president. So
Cool.
Drew was kind of always at the house for the last few years of high school. There was a pretty neat group of kids, most of whom went off to college, and Drew stuck around and said, "I'm going to be an entrepreneur," and which
I love that.
that's what I love that story too, right? And
Yes.
and so the truth is, Drew's going to be way more wealthy than all of his friends who all went and got these degrees. And they're doing well, right? They all got a degree and they're making $100,000 or something. But Drew started making $100,000 for a year, 4 years earlier, working for himself and
Yeah.
buying houses, and he's building businesses. And I think he sold his first business, which was a lawn service, while he was still in high school. So you guys
Amazing.
are entrepreneurs, right? You understand how powerful that is. Like he took it all the way through, built it up, sold it off, put $50,000 in the bank or something. It wasn't like a huge exit, but for a 16, 17-year-old kid, it was a lot. It was enough to get him going in real estate too.
That probably changed his whole perspective too, to even have someone. And I know that's like Mun will take a lot of people in our community under his wing. Like I just had a conversation with someone the other day and they're like, Mun sat and talked with me for 4 hours about real estate.
Yeah.
So like to have someone like you and to like take someone under their wing, that puts them so much further, I feel like, in life. And that's so amazing that your son's friend is the
Yeah.
one that, yeah, it's just, I love that
Took
story.
it
Thank you.
I think I was trying to figure it out for the Chicago event. It's probably between 50 and 100 deals that I've done with that guy. And he's
Wow.
27, 28 years old. So,
Wow.
but we've done a lot. We've done a whole lot.
That's amazing.
And just wanted to rewind just a little bit here, Robert, and I just wanted to see if you could share how you got started in real estate and maybe talk about a couple of the major setbacks that you faced early on. I know that, a lot of our listeners love hearing those kind of challenges and how you overcame them. So yeah, these specific stories you can share with us?
So I started, and this is the typical story you'll hear, right? Like I had bad credit. I really had, guys, when I say I had no money, I had no money at all. And I had just been in a physical, call it an altercation, with my direct supervisor at my corporate job working for Florida Hospital. And I got to get him on the YouTube channel and have him tell this story with me. Because the way I remember it, I've got him up in the air, holding him by the throat. And I want him to say, that's BS, Robbie. It wasn't that bad. But it was pretty bad. I was losing that job and needed something to do. I had two kids, two babies, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And I saw this guy, Carlton Sheets, on late night TV. He did these infomercials from like 2 a.m. until 6 a.m. And when you're losing your job, you're like, what am I going to do? And I'm watching these testimonials. I bought this real estate because of Carlton Sheets courses, and I did it with no money out of my own pocket, and blah, blah, blah. And I watched 2 or 3 hours of it, 10 testimonials. And I literally just went to sleep that night like, oh, I'm going to become a real estate investor. And woke up the next morning. I told my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm losing this job. I'm going to become a real estate investor. She's like, what are you talking about? You're going to become a real estate investor. You don't have any money. How are you going to do that? And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to do it. Within a couple of weeks, I had gotten out of the job. So I think I went in that day, quit the job, and I bought a house. And the way I bought the house was I found a deal from a wholesale company. And it was a cheap house, a $30,000 crack house in a bad neighborhood. And I went to a couple friends once I got it under contract, and we pooled $3,000. My wife lent me $3,000. My best friend put in $3,000, and his father-in-law. And then we bought this house using hard money loan. So we had $9,000. That was it to pay for the debt, to pay for the renovation. And guys, we did every piece of work on this house, and we basically took it down to the 4 walls and then rebuilt it. They were both handy. I was like the guy holding the bucket. I was the laborer. But we rebuilt that house, and during that time, it just everything that could kind of go wrong went wrong. It was supposed to be a quick flip. It didn't go well at all. It took me years, in fact, to actually sell that house. It became a rental house eventually. And I think 5 or 6 years later, I finally sold it. And I did quite well on it because I kept it for a long time. The 2 partners that I had, they never did another deal.
They were scared.
And the next one within 3 weeks of buying the first one. So we're there working on the other. And I had gotten in with this group, and I convinced a guy to give me a hard money loan and another guy to give me a loan to do the renovation. And so I did my second one, and my second one, I made some money. So I made $14,000 on my second house. And
Nice.
that was completely it. I then went to work for the wholesale company, and I never looked back, really. I worked for them for a few months and then started my own thing. And we've done over 3,000 homes now. I need to go back and add it up because they keep piling up. But yeah, we've done quite a few. And for a long time, all it was single family homes. We would buy a single family home, fix it up and sell it, or just contract it and sell it. Now we've moved on to some way bigger projects, 25, 28 years later. So
I got goosebumps as you said, like the three of you put the 3,000 in. Were you guys actually doing the work yourself?
Every bit of it. Yeah. Every bit
How
of it.
did you know how to do that? Or I'm
I didn't
assuming you
know. I didn't
did,
know how to.
and you
Listen,
just did it.
I can't fix anything, right? I could barely screw in the light bulb. I
Yeah.
break things. Someone else fixes things. But my partner or my good friend John, his father-in-law had been in construction, so he was the kind of
Okay.
leader. John was very handy and a good kind of carpenter. And I was literally the guy who held the bucket. You know, I could paint the walls. I could sweep the floors. I was not much help on that.
How cool
But
though.
I
What
learned
a
everything from that
collaboration.
first deal. You know, that I actually I see that deal that went so wrong, that first one, as probably the best deal I've ever done because it taught me, I mean, absolutely everything. I learned how to turn something into a profit. It took me a long time, but had I not had that experience, I don't think I'd be where I am today. So if it had all gone right and well, then who knows what would have happened, but I
Yeah.
don't think it would be the same path.
We talk a lot about that, me and Matt. We always say like we don't need to know it all. You don't need to know it. Like just taking that first step and you'll learn as you go, and even if you mess up, whatever, like you just keep going. We're huge on that. Like I will tell people like someone's like, "Hey, can you do this or that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I walk away, I'm like, "I don't know how to do the first thing of that, but I'm going to figure it out."
My thought on that back when I was first starting out was all I needed was this. If one person one time had ever done it successfully, as long as we're not talking about like rocket science or something, I'm
Right.
reasonably intelligent enough that I could figure it out. So I would be exactly like you, and they'd be like, "Hey, can you do this?" Yeah, I could do
Sure.
this. And then I would just go do it, right?
Yeah.
And I would have no idea what I was doing. Again, back to that first deal. If I knew now, or if I knew then what I know now, there's no chance I would have done that house. I'd be like, no. But that first
Yeah.
house, it's given me everything, right? It gave me the confidence to do the second one. The second one made money, and then we were off to the races. And I'm a bit stubborn, so that when I start things, I don't quit easy.
No.
Nothing have I ever quit easy. So that's one thing that maybe God just instilled in me, that you just, once you take something on, you have to see it
Gotta
through.
see it.
You just got to keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, all the traits of an entrepreneur. Stubborn. We think we can do anything. A
Yeah.
little delusional.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
I
don't
say this
listen.
all the time. If the plane is going down and they're asking for a pilot, I may not be a pilot, but if I'm looking around and there's no more pilots, I'm stepping up and I'll go try to land the plane. I have
Heck
more
yeah.
confidence in myself than anybody else out there. I mean, now if the pilot steps up, fine, you go do the thing, but
Yeah, the
Yeah.
confidence. I love that.
That reminds me a lot when I first started my contracting business. I partnered with him and bought into the business. And I remember I was out there selling. I had no idea what I was selling because he did fences and decks. There were so many times that I came back to him and I said, "Hey, do we do this?" And he's like, "No, I don't know how to do that." I was like, "Well, I just booked it, so we got to figure it out."
I just sold the job.
Right.
You better learn this weekend.
That's great.
Right.
That's
You
great.
better jump on YouTube University because it's time to get educated because we just booked it.
Yep.
Those are the best stories, though.
That's
No,
awesome.
And now you guys
incredible.
probably do that all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still have? Are you still in business with the same guy?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's amazing. Okay.
Yeah, it started off as a $10,000 investment off of a failed flip, actually. The flip didn't come into fruition like we expected. It was actually turned into just being more of a buy and hold opportunity. And I was looking to flip this cash that I had saved up, and this opportunity came, and now it's doing 7 figures every single year. You know, God is good, and just goes to show that, hey, you know,
Amen.
that imperfect action always trumps perfect inaction. So just taking that first steps, figuring it out as you go, it's the best teacher. You learn the best lessons. I took a lot of losses, but I've got so many more wins, and
Yeah.
that's what it's all about in this journey.
You know what you just said. If people are watching this and they're trying to get everything right, get all your ducks in a row, you might not be cut out to be an entrepreneur. You really
Right.
need to see that it's been done one time and just start doing it tomorrow. And I mean, without having any knowledge of what you're going to do, just decide and start taking action. Massive imperfect action. That's one of the pillars of kind of in my core being, is that we make decisions fast And then we just beat our head against the wall until we get it done if we've made a mistake. And mistakes are not a mistake as long as you treat them as learning experiences. So that's something I've always been able to jump in with both feet on something once I decide that I'm going to do it. And then I burn the bridges, I burn the boats, I don't look back. There's only path forward, right? And then you said God is good. God is good. And you know,
Sure.
he's got a better plan than I've got. So even if I thought that I knew something and tried to go about setting my own plans and doing it, God's got a different plan than what we may have. And his plan's always better than ours anyway.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I always say it's either a lesson or a blessing, and I'm grateful for both.
That's right. And sometimes lessons and blessings are all the same, right?
Exactly.
Every time I call Matt with a fire, he's like, all right, now you learned this time and now it won't happen again. And you use your expertise from that and move on.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
Mun is very, very intelligent and helps me a lot mentally when it comes to things like that. I'm a perfectionist. Well, I used to be. I still like to think I am, but there's no way I'm a perfectionist when I'm running multiple businesses. But
Yeah.
yeah. I just think I can do anything, so that helps.
Yeah.
That does help. That's the right attitude. That's the entrepreneurial spirit.
She is the queen of imperfect action. Like this girl, like part of her story is she was wanting to get an Airbnb and she kept talking to me. She's like, hey, you know, I see you're in real estate. And she kept asking. And I was like, started. Well, I told her like 3 times. And then one time she caught me, her husband was going into the barbershop to get a haircut. And so I caught her outside and we started talking. So she's like, yeah, I want to do Airbnb. And I said, hey, listen, this is the last time I tell you. You need to just go do it. I'm not going to give you any more advice if you don't listen right now. Like this weekend, this kids are about to go back to school. This would be a hot weekend to get it started. This is what you should do. And we worked through it. I'm telling you, Robert, by the time I got out of the haircut, she was already posting the link up. Now the house was cleaning.
Nice.
She didn't know how to work Airbnb's platform. She didn't know anything about it. But in the car ride home, she didn't even talk to her husband about it. She just took action.
That's so good. That's
Someone
awesome.
booked it. And I was like, oh shit, I don't even have the house ready yet. What are we going to do?
Don't you just love the pressure of a deadline though? I mean,
I love it.
People can have, so we renovate a lot of houses, right? And I just did a big party for my community at this mansion that we've been renovating for 2 years. And I just arbitrarily set a date for the party, went to my contractor and said, hey, on the 19th, I'm going to have 100 people in this house and we're having a party and it's going to be done.
Yes.
And we moved heaven and earth to get it done. Now we still got a punch list to do and we're finishing it up now. But if I hadn't given us that pressure, we'd still be weeks away. You know, now we're days away. So I like the pressure of deadlines. I used to think as a young entrepreneur that if I really needed to motivate myself, I would just go create a problem where I called it putting my head under the wheel of the bus. And put your head under the wheel of the bus, and then now you've got to just go out there and get shit done, or you're going to get crushed by the bus. So
it's funny you say that because when we get a new Airbnb, I will post it empty and I put it to start booking in 2 weeks. And everyone's like, you're nuts. I'm like, no, someone's coming now in 2 weeks. This house has to be done. I don't care what we need to do. This has to be done.
Yeah.
I think the fastest I did one was I had a guest staying with us and they're like, hey, we have more staff coming in that need a place. They'll be here in 5 days. I'm like, you got it.
Yeah.
I put that thing together in everyone's like, how did you do that? I'm like, I have no idea, but we did it.
Awesome.
Love a deadline.
And if you would have stopped to try to think about how you could have done that, 9 times out of 10, it wouldn't have worked, right? You wouldn't have had enough time because you're too busy thinking and get that decision fatigue. But the fact that you just started, whatever you got to do. And that's what I love about Mary Jean here is that every single time I gave her some advice, she took action. And then she came back and reported the results. And I said, that is perfect. And she was just like, man, I feel like I owe you, right? I should be cutting you an invoice or something.
I owe him a plane.
But I tell her, you're rewarding me by taking action, because there's so many people, you give them the game, you give them all the resources, you give them all the knowledge, and then they just don't do anything. So my reward is seeing you become successful, seeing you do these things and see the proof of concept and see that it actually works. So that's all the payment that I would ever ask for from
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I know you have I like to I could just talk and I go off track, so don't mind me, guys.
I'm in no hurry either. This is your show, and I
Yeah.
think Matt, you've got somewhere to be later, but you go as long as you like.
Yeah. No, I know Matt has some wonderful questions, and I know a lot of the I was like so excited for this episode because I'm like, this is what everyone always asks for is real estate. And I don't think I know much.
What do you guys
Just little.
normally talk about on this podcast then?
So it goes back and forth. So there's business, life. We did a recap of the 1% event last episode. We did how to structure an LLC. We told both of our stories from how we grew up and how we got to here. So it's really just a really relaxed environment for the first couple episodes that we were doing. But really our main goal is to just get around all the people that have all this knowledge and all this experience and be able to share it and ask questions and build relationships with awesome entrepreneurs like yourself and people with a wealth of knowledge and wealth of experience, and be able to share that with people, because that was one thing in my journey. I would have never ever thought that I would have ever been a real estate investor ever. Like I just had limiting beliefs and
Yeah.
stuff like that just from my childhood. But I watched Bigger Pockets, and I watched every single episode when I was driving trucks. And I just watched every single video, and I seen that there was young people, old people, people that were teachers, people that didn't have any time, people that were homeless. And it gave me that proof like, wow, I can actually do this. And like, it
Yeah.
truly empowered me. So that's my goal, is like bring as many people together, not only to build the relationships, but to show, hey, anybody can do this. This starts with step one, right? And you just have to believe a little bit, or at least be crazy and obsessed enough to say it's either going to work or it's going to work. So
Eliminate the choices, right? And don't overthink it. Massive imperfect action. One thing that I love about the ability to become an entrepreneur in today's world that I think is different than when I was starting up is that you can have podcasts like this. Look, you can learn anything that you need to learn by putting a search in YouTube and finding a video that's out there that's got a few thousand views. Someone's going to tell you exactly how to do the thing it is that you want to do. And the only thing I would caution about that is you don't have to know it all. You don't need all your ducks in a row. It's more important to just start than anything else. One other thing that life has gotten so easy is with the ability for us to meet online and have communities and get around people. I mean, in a year, we've built a group with 3,000 people in it of like-minded people who are entrepreneurial that, want to do deals together. That's huge. When I was starting out, it was me in a newspaper. I'm reading the newspaper looking for something to show up 2 times in 2 weeks, the same ad, and I'm like, oh, they're in trouble. They can't sell it. I'm gonna start making my low ball offer. Now you've got these massive communities, and people have automated things in a way that it's just gotten a lot easier. Life is going to get kind of easier again now that we've got AI even. So I don't know if you guys ever talk about that, but I'm really interested in what's going to happen because of what artificial intelligence is about to do to the world.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I love it.
What would you tell someone listening that's like just starting out, like they love real estate, they want to get into it, they don't know where to start, they have no money, like they're dead broke.
Yeah.
Like, what would you tell them to do?
Call on everything that's for sale or for rent in the area that you live, and you will start to see the patterns of what things will sell for, and then make offers on everything, right? And there's all kinds of places out there on the internet. Bigger Pockets is a great one. Our channel, the Flip Flop Flipper, you can just follow some people that will explain to you what a good deal looks like. But real quick, if you can buy it at 70 cents on the dollar minus repairs, do that often enough and you're going to be super successful. But if you just have nothing else going for you, a phone maybe, open up the Zillow app and look at everything that's nearby where you live and call and have the conversations. The more conversations you have, the smarter you'll get. You'll start to figure it out. The patterns are easy to spot, right? Like, so you don't want to buy the stuff that's selling at the top of the market. You want to find the stuff that's distressed and make offers on that stuff and either wholesale it or fight like hell to go and do the deal and do it yourself. I mean, you don't have to have any money. That's the beautiful thing. Real estate's the great equalizer. Everybody knows that you either get rich in real estate or you keep your wealth in real estate. So everybody who has a great business idea and goes and makes millions of dollars, eventually they become real estate investors because they want to park their money in something that's going to traditionally go up. But you can make your wealth in real estate still. It's still probably the easiest place to become a millionaire or to become successful. You don't even have to become a millionaire, and anyone can do it. I know the limiting beliefs are really what hold most people back. It's not that you don't have any money. It's not that you have bad credit or no education. It's that you believe that you need money, that you need an education, or that your credit matters. Because that all of those things that are limiting beliefs, they're all bullshit, quite honestly. I'd rather have someone who just would start taking action like we talked about earlier, Matt, where just pick up the phone, start dialing for dollars, driving for dollars, whatever. That's what I would do. And then go to your local RIA. Information is so easy in this world that you can become an expert. I mean, we're all with these phones, even when it was before AI with just Google, everyone could be the smartest person in the world with a phone and a Google app, right? Now AI takes it to the next level.
Oh yeah.
ChatGPT is my best friend.
ChatGPT is my personal assistant.
Yeah.
If I'm like him, I've woken up. My wife's a little bit not feeling well. She's not looking like she's in a real good mood. I'll put it in ChatGPT. Linda's not feeling well today. What should I do to get her spirits up? And it'll frickin' say, "Brrrah." And the more you do that with the ChatGPT, it gets to know you. It's a little scary how well it knows me.
It is. Isn't that cool? The technology at our fingertips. That's why when people have excuses,
it's going to explode. Here.
That's why there is no excuse to not do I just made a video this morning about not being fulfilled and not waking up and being extraordinary. Like, why aren't we waking up and being extraordinary every single day?
Yeah.
And filling our cup and doing everything. There's just too much at our fingertips not to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a big thing too is, I know that for me, mindset is huge. And I think that's a big thing that goes into why people aren't successful. But one thing I think that people really forget to do is be grateful, right? So many people refuse to wake up grateful, and they're pissed that the alarm clock went off, or they're thinking about these problems, or they're going to bed thinking about problems, or following along with everybody else's problems on social media, where it's just like, if you just woke up every single day and just thought about all the things that you're grateful for. Did you return home safely last night? Are you in good health? Do you got good kids? I mean, like, all these things that we take for granted, just living life and getting in the hustle and bustle. So once I shifted my mind to an attitude of gratitude and started waking up with that kind of energy and being grateful for everything, I mean, I'm talking to God all day. Yeah. Like, I'm so grateful now that, like, if I'm standing outside at my son's football practice and a cloud comes over, thanks God, that sun was really beating on me. I felt it.
I needed that shade.
Break. Yeah. You know, so I'm just so grateful now. And since I've done that, and since I've been just overwhelmed with this gratitude, the blessings just keep flooding in. I mean, it's crazy. Like, years ago, I would have been like, dude, you're corny. But since I changed my mindset, I've completely shifted everything about my life, my business, my interactions with people. And so I think that's super huge.
That's such a good message too for everybody, right? I mean, we all get caught up in our own lives, and you can start to easily fall into destructive patterns and telling yourself things that aren't right. But if you just wake up in the morning and try to think about the things that you're grateful for, and you do that for 10 or 15 minutes, I'll challenge you to go back to being negative, right? Like, give me the most negative person. And if you can consistently get that person to the first 10 minutes of their day, start listing off what all of the things that they're grateful for, and they're going to have a hard time going back to the sky is falling mentality.
Exactly. Yeah, you're totally right. It's just like, man, it's a no-brainer. Why isn't everyone doing this?
Yeah.
I even tell my kids, like, the alarm will go off. And I said, you should be thinking, instead of like, oh man, the alarm went off, you should be excited. Like, when my alarm goes off, dude, I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Because it's, wow, I got another day. Like, you know how many people are praying that would trade millions and millions of dollars? Robert, if you were on your hospital bed, you would trade all your riches, all your rentals, all your experience. You would give it everything
Yeah.
just for a couple more days or one more day, you know? So it's like so many people take that for granted. And then they're out here doing things that are, you know, doing risky behavior or not taking advantage of these opportunities that are coming. And I've seen a great quote that said, the rich keep getting richer because the broke people think every opportunity is a scam.
Yeah.
It is
Literally.
amazing, you know, because we've got these online communities and stuff. And so we hear, I would just call it overall negativity, but often you'll see things, and you guys will get this as you become more popular and you have a following. There's going to be haters, right? And the haters are always the people that don't do anything. They're
Yes.
never, ever, never the entrepreneur. They're never
No.
the person who's had a big success and sold their business for millions of dollars. They're always that person that's, you know, struggling, hates their job, working for minimum wage, or maybe not
Yeah.
quite minimum wage, but they're not happy, they're not fulfilled, and so they become keyboard warriors, and they'll say things like everything's a scam. Man, I'm sure there's a bunch of scams out there. I mean, I get them all the time asking me to click on this or click on that, and just pass over those things. But there's opportunities everywhere. This world is
Yes.
abundant, you guys. There's more than enough to go around forever for everybody, forever for everybody, and
Yeah.
it's just it's yourself that keeps you down. I feel sorry for those people when they comment in my videos the hateful stuff, the negative stuff. I'm just like, man, I'm sorry that that's the way you feel. I'm sorry that life's not better for you. But
Right.
Yeah.
it's your mindset that's keeping you there, brother.
Exactly.
Right. And they'll never get the opportunity to, if they stay in that mindset, like, cause who wants to work or like bring anyone along on the ride that acts like that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like stay far away from me. I had a guy say to me not that long ago, he's like, which one of the 7 jobs are you working today? And I was like, well, first of all, I just have 3 businesses and I'll decide whatever one I feel like working on today when I want, but I don't have a job.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they make the jokes like, and I remember talking to Dan at the event because he has a few different types of businesses. And I said, have you ever felt like weird about that? Because sometimes I do. He's like, why would I ever feel weird about having multiple businesses?
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? You're right. He's like, yeah, F them. Like, who cares, Mary Jean?
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what's funny when I hear you say that, and I think about if there's a quote out there: if you want something done, don't go to the person who has nothing to do. Go to the busiest person you know and ask them if they can help you, because that's the person that knows how to get this stuff done, right? So
Yep.
that's yeah.
I love that.
And
I
if
love
people
that.
truly understood the power of relationships like those RIA events and going to these networking events, like the small ticket price, and some of them are free, like the one that we met at was absolutely free.
And what a great event they put on. I mean, they had
Wow.
heavy hitter after heavy hitter. I was so impressed with the event that they put on. It was disappointing that nobody showed up, and
Yeah.
that was such a surprise.
Yes.
Like, I mean, they really hit it out of the park. And then thank goodness you guys showed up. But maybe there were 25 or 30 people that were there that weren't with the event, and there should have been 3,000 people that were there.
I made a
And
video about
it was
that.
an event that they could have easily charged $300 or $400 or $500 for.
Yep.
Maybe
Yeah.
if they charged $300 or $500, they'd have had more people show up. Even I don't know, but
Yeah.
it was a really good event. So, are you going to go again next year?
Absolutely.
I want to go to the New York one. I made a video after that day because me and Matt being from the area, we have seen that venue shoulder to shoulder, jam packed, paying to get in to go drink and party.
Yeah.
And that was like, I made a video the next morning. Like, I cannot believe that's probably why they call it the 1%. Like 1% showed up. But if we were saying like, hey, there's a DJ, hey, there's alcohol,
Yeah.
hey, wear your best costume, and it costs $20 to get in, that line would have been out the door.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. That's the thing. I just don't understand it, right? And those are the same people. They're gonna be like, "Oh, hey, it must be nice to be doing this." And it's like, dude, you could be doing all the same things. I'm nobody special. What I did is got around the right people and understood the power of the who, not how, right? Like you could go out there and easily go learn it for the next 5 years on YouTube University, or you can tap in with the guy like Robert with the wealth of knowledge that's been doing this for decades here and has tons of experience. Tap into his community, whatever the fee is, it doesn't matter. Even if it was $500 a month, if you could pay $500 a month to change your life, to create generational wealth for not only you, but for your family as well, knowledge that you can pass down, that's invaluable. That's priceless.
Yeah.
But people so many times they see that small price tag and like, oh no, there's no way I would pay that, and unfortunately that's why they're not going to grow and thrive.
I'm gonna admit to a flaw of mine. I used to think that way. Like I told you that I started without. I did watch Carlton Sheets on late night TV. I didn't buy his course. I just started without him, and then for 15 years, I would never pay to go see someone speak. Now I'm a member of half a dozen masterminds. I spend $100,000 a year putting myself in rooms with people that I want to be around, right? And
Right.
I can tell you a story that happened yesterday. I was on a call. We're gonna do a real estate summit where I've invited a bunch of my friends to come and speak. And so one of them is a guy that I just barely know, but I invited him to speak. And so we were talking about the event yesterday, and he invited me to Roatan in September. So I'm going to Roatan in September to go on this guy's brand new yacht and to do some fishing and to look at this real estate project that he's got going. That's, it's just $750 million little project that he's doing out there in Roatan.
Nothing major.
Nothing major, nothing really to see, but I mean, and he just like casually says, hey, I want to show you this Roatan thing. I'll put you up. All you got to do is fly out there. And he's like, once you're there, I'll show you the real estate, and then we can jump on the jet skis or we can go fishing on the boat. And I'm like, we can just go fishing on the boat. I don't need to see the real estate, but I'll see you in September and I'll look at the real estate.
That's awesome.
And for all the listeners out there, I just want to touch on what Robert just said. This guy has done so many great things and accomplished so many things. And you hear he's still investing $100,000 on mentorships and networking events and getting around the right people. And I can't hammer that home enough, that the relationships are so important, because I'm sure you've met so many valuable partners and lenders and real estate agents and other investors, wholesalers, and all that stuff that has helped your business explode, right? And helped you get all these 3,000 deals, because you haven't been combing through the newspaper
for a long time.
1,000 deals, so it's just so
what
important.
happened, Matthew, is I watched a young man in Puerto Rico spend. I thought he was spending money like a drunken sailor, and I was watching him a few years ago, and I'm going, man, why are you joining all of these things? And he went from a guy who really wasn't making much to a guy who was making buku dollars, like just setting the world on fire. And I was like, there's something to this. He's making this investment, and he's doing it differently than I've done it, and he's younger than me. I'm like, I can learn from him, and I didn't realize that the world had gotten to where you can put yourself in proximity to anybody you want. Like if you want to meet Grant Cardone, there's a mastermind you can join that you could be sitting next to Grant Cardone next month somewhere, right? Like exactly. I like this guy Alex Hermosi right now, and I'm certain that in the future I'm going to spend a whole bunch of money to go sit down and talk with this guy Alex Hermosi, and I think that I will get a massive return on that investment, just because I will learn one thing from that guy, and I'll take it and run with it and make a bunch of money with it. But that's what it is. It's an investment in yourself, right? And so I just have shifted 180 degrees the way that I think about this stuff. For the first part of my life and career, I was like, I'm not spending that money to do that. I'll just do what Mary Jean and I said earlier. I figure if someone else has done it one time, I can do it. But now I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I can actually pay someone to teach me something that they know better than I do, and I'll get a massive return on my investment. You asked why I went to the 1% event? That's why. Because if I can get in the room with people like you, or some of the people that were up on that stage that were talking, there's huge value in that for me, right? Like I may never do anything with anybody in that room, but I might do a deal and the deal could make me $1 million. And all I had to do was invest the time to go to an event and speak on the stage for 15 or 20 minutes. And I got to go see Chicago. So
Win-win.
I'm already thinking about the deals I can bring you. That's where my mind is.
yeah, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember my first mentorship I ever bought into was Sub 2. And it was a big investment for me. I would have never, I had the same kind of thinking, like, there's no way I'm going to pay some guy $10,000. Like, for me at that time, $10,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And, but I was just like, I don't know how to do these things. I don't have any connections. Like, cause that was always my excuse that I gave myself. I don't know any realtors, or I don't know any investors, or I never grew up with this. Well, you know, that's just a limiting belief. And so once I realized that, I was like, well, I can instantly, for $10,000, I can tap into a community, because the community was really where I seen the true value. It wasn't necessarily education. I knew that was going to come, and I knew that Pace was a great guy, but I was like, the community was so attractive to me. So you're telling me for $10,000 immediately, as soon as I pay that, I got realtors, private money lenders, transaction coordinators. I got everybody I need to do a real estate deal with at the tip of my fingers.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a no-brainer. And ever since then, it's been off to the races. I spent, almost $100,000 in mentorships now, and I've never regretted it, because I always go in with an intention, right? I'm not looking for the mentor to change my life. I'm looking for the atmosphere that he has created, this community, because those people that I'm going to meet in there are going to change my life. He's just a facilitator of bringing everybody together, but it's my job to go out there and build and nurture those relationships, so that whenever a deal does come up, that we can do something together and bounce ideas off of each other and get help and resources. So I love
that's it, man. You got it. And all you got to do is learn one thing every time you spend the money that you then implement into what you're doing, and your return on investment can be astronomical.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I know we're running short on time. I just had a couple quick questions that I had here on my list. And one I always love to ask entrepreneurs is, what is your favorite business or real estate or mindset book or a podcast that you really love and that really kind of helped on your journey?
Oh yeah. So Think and Grow Rich probably is a book that I just love. Right now I'm reading Brunson's book. It's about funnels.
Oh yeah. Russell Brunson.
Russell Brunson. I mean, that guy's got me believing that money's not real, and that you can set up these funnels and sell stuff. It doesn't need to be real estate. I'm pretty old and stuck in my ways, so I'm always going to be a real estate investor, and that's how I'm going to make my money. But man, oh man, you talk about a powerful tool that someone has created that's literally there at your fingertips too. So those two books right now. I'm not sure what the Russell Brunson book is named, but it's something about funnels, click funnels, I think it's called.
Yep.
So I like that. I like Think and Grow Rich. The Bible's my go-to. I try to be in the Word every single day, and I've read that book a few times through. So
awesome.
And every time you read it, you get what you need. It is the living Word.
Isn't it?
It is absolutely the living Word.
Yes, sir. Totally agree. Yeah, I'm a big book reader. I love reading books, especially since I realized that all the information I needed was hidden in the books that I didn't want to read, and I always looked at reading as a chore.
Yeah.
And now I've just, my mindset is completely shifted. Like, that's all I want to do. I don't even want to watch a TV show. I don't want to watch a movie. It's just like,
I'm much rather. And now again, back to the world getting so easy. You got this thing called Audible. I set those books on 1.5 or 2.5 times speed. Yep. And just listen to them. And if I think I missed something, I'll rewind and listen again. Very rarely do I watch TV. Every once in a while, my wife and I will binge watch whatever the latest new show is. She likes these English shows, so I'll sit down and watch a show with her now and then. But TV's a thing of the past. I'd much rather be reading a book. Or have an author read the book to me on Audible.
Yeah, I was going to say, I go to the gym and listen.
Yeah. Everywhere I go, in the car or whatever I'm doing, that's what I do.
And now with ChatGPT, even if you can't read, you can have that summarize the book for you.
Yes, you can.
Chapter by chapter. So it's like, they're making it so easy to successful, but it's just, man, you just have to do a small amount of work and have a small amount of belief and just get started.
Yeah.
But they are truly making it super easy. So I don't understand how anybody is broke these days. I really don't.
No, and we're about to
You
go
can
into an
sell
extreme
anything.
time of ease too, right? Like it's going to get easier and easier, but you still have to get out of your own head. That's the thing that will set back 98% of the people that are going to hear what we're talking about today will listen to it. Maybe they'll for a fleeting moment think, "Oh, that could be me." And then most of them will never do anything. There's a 2%, we went to a 1% event, but 2% of the people that listen to us are actually going to ever do anything. And that's just the way it is. I'm
Yeah.
sorry that that's the way that it is, because it doesn't have to be that way. Like, this world is so abundant. There's enough for everyone forever.
Absolutely.
I wonder where, like, how that happens, like, why people have that. We're programmed, right?
Yeah.
I was at the gym today and I looked up and I saw everyone just walking on a treadmill, which a lot of people walk on the treadmill, but they were walking at this like same pace. And I'm like, I couldn't even do a set. My mind just started going deep into thought. I'm like, oh my God, that's like more than half of the world that are just walking through life.
The sheeple.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at what age does it start? Like I'm debating, I don't even if I have the patience, I wouldn't even have my kids in public school.
Yeah.
Cuz I think that's probably where it starts. You know, as a child, like my kids are some of them are still very young. They think they can do anything. But then when they go to school is
Don't
when
let
they're
them
told they
lose that.
can't.
Guys, I sent 2 kids to college. They both graduated basically around the same time. I have great kids, but I'm not sure that the education that they got is going to help them at all.
Yeah.
And the fight is you send them away after years of you living into their lives and instilling whatever your morals are, and
Yeah.
you go off to the university and you come back changed, right? I'm sorry, but I think you come back
Yeah.
changed for the worst most of the time.
Right.
It's amazing how bad the public education has gotten. And I'm talking about at a university level, right? Like they're just
Yeah.
brainwashing our young people. And I, I have very strong feelings on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
How
the
long?
longer that you can keep them where you're breathing life into them and instilling those morals, the better off you are. And I I don't know that the university system is it just doesn't deliver what it used to. When my dad went to the university, if he got a 4-year degree, he was going to be leaps and bounds ahead of the person who didn't get the degree. When I went
Yes.
and got a university degree, I was still probably going to be slightly better off than the person that didn't get it. When my son went to the university and got a double degree, he's not better off than Drew Schaffner, who became an entrepreneur at 19 years old. There's no
Right.
way. There's certainly no way. The person who starts at a younger age has 4 years of earning, has 4 years of being in the world, and they don't get the baggage that comes from whatever it is that they're indoctrinating our kids with. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there you go. There's my political.
So you think they're fine until the university because like my daughter is a spitting image of me, like literally me to a T, and she's begging me. She's 7. Mom, please, I don't want to go to school. Like, teach me art, teach me this. Like, I don't want to go. And in my head, I'm like, man, I don't really want you to go either, but like, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I think when they're younger, you get a lot of control. So
Yeah.
yeah,
we did not homeschool our kids, but we had a school that my son went to in like the 6th grade that they started to say he was a bad kid, and we're like, he's not a bad kid. And fortunately, we had been doing all right. We were like, screw this. We're not going back to that school, and took him out of the school and moved to another district,
yeah,
put him in a different school, and basically moved to that district because of the school. It was the best thing we ever did as parents. Like we went
It's awesome.
yeah,
from a kid that was, he's a great kid, and he started to have these negative messages coming, and we caught it right away. My wife was so quick with it. And so the
Amazing.
next school year, or maybe even like the next semester, we're at this new school, and it was a dream. It was night and day, the difference. Yeah.
yeah. There she is right there.
There
My
it
very stubborn, gets what she wants, won't stop till she gets it. Yes. That's
Nice.
my entrepreneur.
That's your entrepreneur. There you go.
Yeah.
I was at a conference one time. The guy was breaking down why there's so much glamorization around the college, and it all stems back from the Great Depression. So he said that once the Great Depression happened and there was very limited jobs and only some certain factories and corporations were open, there was lines and lines of men trying to go to work, and how they decided to weed them out is like, all right, who has a degree?
Yeah.
Oh, if you got a degree, all right, you're coming. Here we are almost 100 years later, still living by that same, that same mindset and mentality where so many things have changed,
Yeah.
and my mentor always used to tell me that, hey, networking can get you in rooms that degrees can't. So
No question about it. Just,
Yeah.
and you know what? Some of the most successful entrepreneurs I know don't have a college degree,
right.
and they're just too stupid to know that they shouldn't be able to be as successful as they are. And I freaking love those guys, right? Like,
Absolutely.
I have a college degree that I barely can remember what it was in. It's never once helped me get a job. It's never made me $1. And unless you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer,
That's what I
the
say.
universities just do not deliver what the promise is that they used to deliver on. And I think they're still teaching 100 years later for people how to be employees. And man, this
Yeah.
world demands more of someone who's going to be successful. So
Exactly.
I actually just graduated high school when I was 27. I'm 31.
Oh,
Like,
congratulations.
I just Thank
Good
you.
for you, though.
And I got so much more further. My son gives me crap for it all the time. He's like a genius, though. And I'm like, Fernando, you couldn't do half the shit I did at 14. Like, I had a job. I bought a car at 15. I had my own house at 16. Like,
Wow.
trust me, like, I'm glad you're smart. Like, I hope you're a lawyer or a doctor is what I tell him,
Yeah.
or a president. But me, I've gotten so much further, I swear, than my friends that are in college right now.
For sure. For sure.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd rather have 10 people with your attitude than 10 people with a degree in gender studies and whatever the hell else they.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I go back and forth with him every day sometimes. Especially when he tells me he's tired. I'm like, you're tired? Who gives a shit? Get up and let's go. No one cares that you're tired. Let's go.
And you guys are both young, but I remember when I was young, I used to like to sleep in. And on the weekends, I'd sleep till 10:30, 11 o'clock. And now I jump out of bed. As soon as my eyes open, my feet hit the floor. 5 in the morning, I'm up. Someone texts me at 4 in the morning, I text them back, right? Like as soon as I have reason to be up and can start going, I'm ready to hit the ground running. And I just love to work. Like I want my work to not be breaking bricks, but I like to solve problems and I like to get out there. And I really have gotten to the point where I like to be up early, go to bed early, and work a 12-hour day in between. And I feel really good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
we were
it.
talking about that because I went on vacation and I was supposed to leave my business phone at home and I was supposed to just take it a day off, but I actually enjoy doing business. So it's like, it didn't feel like a chore to me. It's just, I let my kids ride the water slides and do all that cool stuff, but doing the business, problem solving, just like you said, like I like that. I enjoy it. I get fulfillment out of that. So it was nothing to me, but
One life work balance, go into business with your spouse.
Exactly. And then employ your children.
Or go into business with your kids. Yeah. Life work balance.
Fernando
It's all
actually
problems. Let's just work together.
Right. Exactly.
I just told Fernando, he's 14. I said, you mentioned a job. He's like, I'm going to go apply here. I'm like, the F you are. I'm like, you're coming to work for me.
Yeah. You can be cleaning Airbnbs. You could be setting up the listings on Airbnb. Come on, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to a clean last week. We have 10 staff members, but one called off right when we're leaving to go on quote unquote vacation. I worked while I was gone too, but I said, let's go, Fernando. You want to leave on time? You're going to have to come clean with me.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Like, we got to go, Fernando. Like, no one else can go. Everyone else is off,
Yep.
But yeah, he came.
That's
And it's funny you mentioned that because I think, like, how does some people get stuck in that employee mindset? I think that I was I had it as a gift when I was little because the same kind of thing. I was always a problem solver, right? Well, unfortunately, I caused a lot of the problems too. But
Problem
like,
causers are problem solvers.
right.
Yeah.
But like when I wanted to hang out with my friends and like we went over the house and they're like, "You're not leaving till the house is clean." I would say, "Hey, let's do this together. Let's all gang up and
Yes.
let's clean the crap out of this house so we can come play faster." It's just there's something in you, and if you don't have it, get around other people that can light that fire in you, right? And
Yes.
see that vision and see that that belief in you, and kind of borrow their confidence in you, and
Yeah.
that was something that I had to do. I felt imposter syndrome when I was in a room with all millionaires and I don't have anything.
Yeah.
But there were so many things that we were able to talk about, and all the relationships I've built. I'm just super grateful and thankful, and brings me up to my next point, man. I'm super thankful for you, Robert, and your time today and sharing us all these awesome stories and about your success and your journey. And we're truly grateful for your time and loved meeting you at the event. And it was a pleasure having you on here as well, just to segue from our last episode.
Oh, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys having me. We talked about some things that I don't get to talk about all the time. So this is awesome. I love it. I really had a good time.
Perfect. And before we wrap up, can you let our listeners know where they can follow you, learn more about what you're doing, how they can get in
Sure.
touch and stay in touch with you?
Yeah, I appreciate that. So the easiest way to find me is on YouTube. If you like YouTube, the Flip Flop Flipper on YouTube, Robbie Crager, the Flip Flop Flipper. I think I've got emails all over that stuff, and there's links to our school communities as well in all of the videos. So just go to YouTube, check out one of the videos. If you like it, join the community. And if you want to get in touch with me, that's how you do it. I mean, that's really the way that we are working at this point. We're trying to do deals with people that we know, like, and trust, and we know, like, and trust the people that are in our community. So
Perfect.
yeah. And appreciate you guys being a part of it as well. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us. As soon as you put up the QR code there at the event, I was all in. I was like, oh my God,
Nice.
this is awesome. So
That's great.
and I'll make sure that I drop some of those when we post this to YouTube. I'll make sure I drop some of those links just so they can easily find you as well and find your YouTube channel and find your content, because I think a lot of people can gain a lot of value from just, getting in your community, interacting with the people, that you have brought together in there, and then hopefully they can upgrade to that premium and start doing some deals right away with you.
That'd be great. All right, guys. Thanks a
Awesome.
lot. God bless.
Thanks again, Robert.
Yes, thanks,
Appreciate you
Robert.